congratulations. You said you couldn't imagine the judges being used tonight, but Eric Silva showed he still has a chin, doesn't he?
He has a fantastic chin. You know, I've seen numerous fights where he's been hit with one big shot and he goes down, and I thought that was what was going to happen tonight. But then, again, in another interview, I said it's about inches, and I said I had more inches than him. I had the bigger length. And I think it showed tonight I had the bigger length, so I just had a little bit more in the tank and got the victory.
How much did you have to guard against frustration? You know, you said you were probably expecting to get him out of there once you connected with the strikes, and there was that spell where you were just completely sort of battering him with shots, and he just wouldn't go.
He wouldn't go down. And when there was a point there when I was letting off some big shots and he was staying on his feet, went to the ground, and when he went to the ground, the referee came in. I looked at the ref and I said, why didn't you stop it? I was tired, number one, and number two, I thought he took a lot of punishment. But you know, to his credit, he hung in there. You know, he had a lot of hype when he was coming into the sport onto the main stage, and I think tonight showed why he had that hype. You know, he has got a hell of a heart, and he never quit, and he was always in the fight. So yeah.
You said in an interview with us before that you thought this fight would be a good setup for a rematch with MVP. Do you still feel that way, or do you feel like your path is a little bit different now?
For me, I like the MVP fight is. Do you know what? I've explained it like it was building up, and it exploded, and then it's all fizzled out. You know, it wasn't the fight that people expected. It wasn't the fight that people wanted. But all that being said, I feel like I won the fight. So I'm content with the fight. Like, I genuinely, as mad as it sounds, and as you know, people can call me disillusioned or whatever, I'm at peace with that fight because I think I won. So I'm not searching for a rematch. You haven't seen me really make a statement on social media or anything asking for the rematch, even though he got knocked out in his last fight. You know, I kept quiet. I didn't stop begging for the rematch because in my heart I feel like I won the fight. Like the situation, it being in a tournament, the fact that I was the underdog on the betting thing, a lot of factors played into it. I said in a statement that it was MMA politics following the way of boxing, and I still stand by that, no matter what Bellator said. And I feel like I won the fight, so I'm not hunting for a rematch. If he wants a rematch, he's got to create something to let for the fans to want the rematch. I mean, maybe storming in here now and swinging at me might warrant a rematch, but as far as I'm concerned, I won the fight.
I know that fight, you made a conscious decision to change up your tactics and go a little bit more wrestling heavy to try and get him to the mat. For those watching, it didn't feel like a real Paul Daley fight.
Yeah.
This felt more like a real Paul Daley
fight. I know.
How much better did it feel for you? Obviously, the result was better for you because you picked up the W, but in terms of how it felt mid-fight and actually going through, did it feel a lot more familiar and a lot more comfortable for you being in a proper tear-up rather than maybe a bit more of a tactical battle?
Yeah, I did enjoy this fight more than I enjoyed the MVP fight. I'm not going to lie, but you know, in certain situations, you've kind of got to take what is presented to you. And honestly, like, everyone says it was a good tactic and it was a genius decision to take him to the ground. That wasn't the plan. You know, the plan was to go in there and try and put him out on the feet. But, you know, he's an elusive guy. He doesn't let too many shots off. He's a counter striker. And me and him is just a bad matchup for the fans. And I don't expect a rematch to go any different than the first match. I'm not going to come out there swinging and allow him to use his counter-striking tactics. I'll probably employ the same tactics that I did in the previous fight and try and take him to the ground. So I just think we make a bad matchup. As much as our, you know, the interest is away from the fight, and you know we're good at getting under each other's skin. I just think that the fight is just not what people want to see, and I'm not willing to take the risk and go out there swinging like I did tonight to get to lose. You know, I'll take the safest route to victory.
About this fight, you seem to be struggling a bit in the first round, and then you came out like a freight.
Nah, not struggling. I always take a while to get warmed up. You'll notice that in my fight. If I catch someone in the first round, I catch them. They're normally sleeping. But my first rounds, I've got a lot of second round finishes. You know, the first round, I'm normally trying to suss the guy out. His timing, his speed, his distance, and how much he can take. It just so happens that he could take a lot, and he was tough. And you know, I was a little bit slow off the mark in the first round, and him getting that takedown. I anticipated that he'd go for the takedown, but I was a little bit over-eager. I think I threw something wild and he shot in underneath, and I should have done that. And my corner told me, settle down, just fight, take a little bit more reserved, and you'll get the victory in it. I had to work out that way. Yeah. Yeah. I like Mikey Beltrán. When he came to the dressing room and he said he was going to ref the fight, I was like, thank you, because I know he likes a tear up. He likes a good fight, so I was like, yeah, this is going to be interesting. But I thought he would have stopped the fight, you know. The way he went to the ground and then I was on him and hitting him with some big shots. Credit to Eric Silva, he recovered well, and I don't know where it came from, because if you look at all his other fights where he's been stopped, it's 1 punch, 2 punches, and he's sort of just gives up. But I was hitting him with horrible shots to the head, to the chin, to the body, front kick to the face, spinning elbows, all kinds of shit, and he just he won't quit. So.
You talked about rematches, obviously with MVP. Maybe that's not the right one for you. But you said to us during fight week there is another potential rematch that you might go after, which is the Lorenz Larkin one. You've got a promise to keep that.
Yeah, I've got. You know what I mean? I'm an honest guy, and I don't really have to do it. But you know, Lorenz Larkin was quite disappointed in the fact that he got knocked out in the fashion that he did. I promised him backstage. He was practically in tears when he came to the changing room, and not to embarrass him, but just to show you why. I said, look, you know, I'll give you the rematch. And I like to be a man of honour and honour that. You know, he's got I think he won his last fight. So if it was interesting, you know, if Bellator thought it was interesting, I mean, he held a high ranking when he came from the other promotion. So I wouldn't feel bad in giving him the rematch because I said I would. So.
Paul, when we last spoke, we spoke at Bramall Lane after the K1 event where you were coaching one of your younger fighters. Yeah. When you're trying to balance coaching younger fighters but also trying to manage the fight camp yourself, how does that work? Because we hear a lot of fighters say you have to be selfish in this game. Yeah,
you do have to be selfish, but I'm fortunate enough that my gym runs well and I employ 2 people to run it for me while I'm away. So I've got a good staff, and yeah, I'm lucky that I can just allow shit to sort of run itself. So I've got a shout out to Coach Olivier and Coach Alan to run the gym for me while I'm away. So yeah, I'm lucky.
We've also got the Bellator Birmingham card. Do you think we could, you know, you're from Nottingham, do you think we could take the card to Nottingham maybe for one of the European
I would absolutely love for the card to be in Nottingham, and I think MMA hasn't been there enough in Nottingham, despite us breeding a lot of good fighters, if not from Nottingham and from around the surrounding areas. So yeah, it'd be great to have a big Bellator fight card in Nottingham.
This was your 60th pro MMA fight. It's really remarkable. I don't think enough fuss has been made about that.
No.
You're now like above the likes of Donald Cerrone, catching Alistair Overeem, fighters like that. So can you just give us your thoughts on what that means to you and why you think you have this longevity in the sport?
I love the sport. I'm a martial arts at heart. I think that's overlooked a lot. I train well. I've got fantastic coaches. Look, I don't tend to get hurt in fights, even in tough fights. You've seen I've just been in a tough fight there. I don't tend to get hurt, and that is due to my coaching, my defense, and my experience, you know. You very rarely see me busted up, no matter who I'm fighting, win, lose, or draw. I tend to come out of it fit, healthy, and still looking $1 million.
How much of a quick turnaround do you look for, Paul?
It depends what's offered to me. I'm going on holiday. Yeah, but I'm going on holiday, man. I'm going to Jamaica. Nice. You know, I'm going to go with the family, go and relax again. Sip some cocktails, relax.
Dublin in September. Does that interest you at all?
Not really. Like, I've fought in Dublin before, but I just don't know what kind of angle they're going to get for me for the Irish crowd. I know I've got fans in Ireland because I've fought there before, but you know, they're more interested in seeing your James Gallaghers and stuff like that. So I'd like to fight in the UK again this year. Birmingham, I would mind. London, I wouldn't mind. I think Dublin's just, you know, I love the fans there, but I think that they'd probably want to see their own guys there on the card.